Well, hello there, my beautiful souls. Welcome on into another daily reading. Please keep in mind, as always, energy is fluid. So wherever this applies for you individually, it's simply meant to be. Let's jump into the Tarot of Dreams and see what Spirit has for us. Okay, coming out, we have the Nine of Wands. You're feeling burnt out, man, or you're just at least feeling tired, drained. And they're saying it's understandable, regardless of why that is for you individually. I feel you at least go through a lot, and a lot of you have a lot on your plate otherwise. But there's something about you knowing at this point how to better take care of yourself. But then they're saying you're also extremely passionate, you're bold. It's this feeling of this energy coming through as I'm not messing around. I really don't want to mess around, because you're giving off very boss-like energy, very Queen of Wands energy. And then there are a lot of reminders and constructive criticism coming through from other people or one person in particular, but also from Spirit. You're going to feel like at times you want to gain something so badly, and they're saying, well, separate yourself for a second. That at times creates heaviness, that at times creates a blockage or difficulty. But you may find there to be a bit of a focus on justice for the near future for a lot, but there's a sense of Spirit saying that your hard work is paying off. And for a lot of you, a change that you're working on or made very, very recently, it's working for you, okay? It's working to your advantage. Please keep that in mind. But then we move on forward to the Eight of Swords and the Knight of Coins, because there's something about you feeling limited, trapped due to a lack there of movement or a lack there of complete progression with something. And so it feels like a period where, okay, with the dog barking, your loyalty is going to more than ever pay off. You'll get a bit of a taste in regards to that throughout this day, but it's more about the justice for the future that you're meant to acquire, or more so achieve, excuse me, when it comes to whatever this is for you. But I'm also hearing slow and steady wins the race. A lot of you feel energy very specifically, very accurately. And so where that comes into play throughout this day in one way is the fact that Mercury retrograde is right around the corner, the 10th to be exact. And so as I lose my breath a bit, it feels to be a day, okay, that might happen to you, but you're at a point where you need to recognize that when and how it's meant to happen, it just simply will, And so forcing it or rushing it is just going to work against you. Oh, I'm so sorry about the imagery. Her booty's out. And a little bit more. But you're going to feel like Spirit saying where you feel trapped or limited, things are about to be shaken up. Things are about to shift for you. And so it feels like there's an abundant shift in the very near future after this day, where that sets you up to receive more, to gain more, to achieve more, to end up at a point further down the line. And it could be, close for you, but where you then end up feeling like you can more confidently, more successfully make a shift otherwise of importance. I hope that came out correctly. But you're also coming off very guarded and very, very spiritual. There's a sense of you being reminded throughout this day, on top of it all, your intuition is stronger than ever. Why do you question it? Why do you put it to the side? Or why do you utilize it and then change your mind about that? Does that make sense? And so it's a period where you really need to correct that, in a sense, by Spirit's trying to help you trust your intuition, what you feel accurately, more than ever. And also it's a day where your eyes are telling a story. You could feel like everyone's viewing you like this to a T, and then there's something about this coming through more than ever, okay? And so, yeah, both obviously are explaining your energy and whatnot, but there's a dryness about this period. And I'm not talking about abundance, but I'm talking about a lot of you, your skin, being dehydrated, feeling dry in enjoyment, dry in fulfillment, satisfaction. And so this is a time period where you now get to rewrite things to your advantage, to your benefit, where you don't feel like everything's as dry or as blah as it is currently or as it's feeling. And it becomes a period where you get to make different choices, because at the end of the day, you're in the driver's seat, you know? And I get it doesn't fully feel like it at times, but we need to allow for the mystery to work to our advantage at this time, instead of feeling like we're not in the driver's seat. Does that make sense? And you're also going to be pushed to stop and smell the roses at a small point or two, because it's not feeling easy these days, right? Whether it's, a commitment or two of yours, your life as a whole, it could be certain factors otherwise. But they want you to remember that you are respected, okay? That could come through online, it could come through at work, it might be with one or two people in your life otherwise. And you might be dealing with certain factors like noise that just doesn't do it for you. But then, I'm not sure if we mentioned it already, but energy seems to take a real big highlight throughout this period where, you're not loving it for the most part, okay? And so you're wanting people to correct their energy. You're wanting the energy of certain spirits otherwise to just kind of either fix it, get with it, or get away, They want you to as well take a second and just breathe, okay? Focus on your breathing. Take yourself away from what you are so committed to if need be, because it's not always ending up the way you want it to. Does that make sense? And sometimes it's because of the energy you're either picking up on or you're embodying otherwise. And we get it, you go through a lot. But we want to as well say that you have a better head on your shoulders at this point, and it's going to make the world of a difference now and moving forward. Stay in your own lane if you feel the energy is that bad. Stay in your own lane if you feel that something is off around you, okay? Or even if you're witnessing certain low vibrational moments like gossip or toxicity otherwise, stay in your own better energy lane. Let's just word it that way. But then we're moving on to the Six of Swords and the Star card. Sorry about the dog. While this is reminding you that your dreams, your goals, your wishes are of true importance, and it's another day that reminds you you're a star in the making. But the Six of Swords is saying that part of what you're dreaming about, part of what you're wanting more of or different in your life, has to do with sailing away from bad energy, sailing away from what doesn't feel right for you, or maybe what for some of you, to be honest, it feels like it doesn't like you, I sense, more than often that my housemates, my roommates don't care for me, and it has to do a lot to do with my spirituality. Probably shouldn't have admitted that, but so be it. And so that's where this comes into play for me. But then Spirit needs to really work with us at times more than they are, and so that's coming into play for you. Let's pull a couple more. There's a new investment that you keep thinking about, and Spirit's saying thinking about it 24/7 isn't going to make it come to be quicker, easier, smoother. It's just you needing to at times trust in the fact that it's going to come to be, We're not saying don't focus on it when the timing feels right, but it's like when the energy's bad or the imperfections feel too much or too often, then you focus upon it in the wrong energy. Does that make sense? In the wrong ways or just too much. And so they're saying take a step back, all right? Focus on a new change for the future, a new investment when you're in the right energy. But your world is more than ever developing at this time, and it may feel like life is coasting on by. There's something about days now, because of Mercury retrograde being around the corner, feeling elongated, feeling stretched out, like they're never ending. And Spirit saying we can use that to our advantage. Now you can get more done. Now you can space things out. You don't have to feel like everything's crunched in and like you're feeling the pressure because of it all. Now you can just take your time, right? But utilize the motivation and the desire for change and adjustments to your advantage. And, you may remember or notice when the energy shifts for the better, you speak a lot smoother, like I am now. You start to, for some, channel a bit smoother, or you just do whatever you're doing in the moment a lot better. It's just a fact. Energy affects. But why don't we leave our reading at that? I hope it was truly helpful. I am sending all of you so much love and light. Take care.